Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the companies you invest in or are curious about. And boy, do we have a deal to unpack today. Get ready because we're diving into DiamondRock Hospitality's latest filing, and it's all about a massive credit facility that changes their financial game. Before we get into the nitty gritty, if you love these deep dives into company reports, make sure you subscribe. And hey, we've got a flourishing Discord community where we discuss these findings further, so come join us. The link is in the description. So what's the big news here? DiamondRock Hospitality, the company that owns a bunch of hotels, has just inked a new credit agreement or a new loan deal. Think of it as their financial backbone getting a serious upgrade. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a major overhaul of their borrowing capacity. This new deal, called the 7th Amended and Restated Credit Agreement, bumps up the total amount they can borrow from $1.2 billion to a whopping $1.5 billion. That's an extra $300 million to play with. Even more importantly, they've stretched out when they have to pay this money back. This means they have more time to operate, manage their properties, and hopefully make even more money before they have to repay these large sums. It's like getting a longer leash to run the businesses, say, while time to operate, manage their properties, and hopefully make even more money before they have to repay these large sums. It's like getting a longer leash to run the business. Let's break down where all that money comes from. They've got a revolving credit facility, which is like a credit card where they can borrow, repay, and borrow again up to a certain limit. That limit is $400 million. Then they have 3 term loans that add up to another $1.1 billion. These are more like traditional loans with fixed repayment schedules. Now, who's helping them manage this colossal debt? A whole team of big banks, including Wells Fargo, Bank of America, US Bank, and TD Bank. These are the giants of the financial world, making sure everything is set up correctly. Focusing on the revolving credit facility, it's set to mature in January 2030. But here's a cool part. They can actually extend that maturity date for another 2 6-month periods if they pay some fees and meet certain conditions. This gives them even more flexibility. Let's look at those term loans. The first one, a $500 million loan, is due in January 2028. Then there's a $300 million loan due in January 2030, and another $300 million loan due in January 2029. Similar to the revolving credit, they can also extend the maturity for the first and third term loans, again based on fees and meeting conditions. Now, about the cost of borrowing. The interest rates on all these loans are tied to something called SOFR, which is a benchmark interest rate plus an extra bit called an applicable margin. This margin isn't fixed. It changes based on how much debt the company has compared to its earnings, specifically its EBITDA. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's a way to measure a company's operating profit. And let's look at how these margins work. They have 7 different levels, each based on a ratio of how much debt they have to their EBITDA. For example, if their net debt to EBITDA is less than 30%, they're in level 1. And for the revolving credit, the margin is 140%. For the term loans, it's slightly lower at 1.35%. Now, if that ratio jumps to 55% or more, they fall into level 7, and the margin on their revolving loans shoots up to 225%. And for the term loans, it's 220x too. So the better they perform and the less debt they carry relative to their earnings, the lower their interest costs will be. This is a pretty standard way for lenders to manage risk. On top of the interest, there's also a fee for not using all the available money on the revolving credit. If they use 50% or more of it, they pay a fee of 0.20% on the unused part. If they use less than 50%, that fee goes up to 0.25%. This is to encourage them to use the credit line efficiently. Now, for any large loan like this, there are always rules or covenants the company has to follow. These are financial commitments they must meet to stay in compliance. The great news here is that these covenants are the same as their old loan, so they're clearly comfortable meeting them. Let's look at the toughest ones. First, they have a maximum leverage ratio, which means their total debt cannot exceed 60% of their total value. Next, they need a minimum fixed charge coverage ratio of 1.5 times higher than their fixed charges like interest and rent. It shows they can easily cover their essential payments. They also have a limit on secured debt, which is debt backed by specific assets. This must be less than 45% of their total asset value. This means a good chunk of their assets can be unencumbered or free if they need to use them for other purposes. And they maintain an unencumbered leverage ratio of 60%. This is similar to the first ratio, but specifically looks at debt against assets that aren't pledged as collateral. Finally, they have an unencumbered implied debt service coverage ratio of 1.20x. This means earnings from their unpledged assets need to be at least 1.2 times their debt payments related to those assets. Of course, like any complex agreement, there are standard clauses about things like making sure their financial statements are accurate and what happens if they mess up, like not paying their bills or breaking these rules. If they do break these covenants, the lenders could demand all the money back immediately. So what's the immediate impact of this new loan? The extra $300 million is specifically earmarked to pay off some existing debts that are coming due this year. For example, mortgage loans on two of their hotels, the Worthington Renaissance Fort Worth Hotel and the Hotel Clio, totaling about $125 million, have already been paid off. One was in May and the other in July, right before this new deal closed. And they plan to use more of this new money to pay off a $166.6 million mortgage on the Westin Boston Seaport District in September. After these payments are made, the truly amazing part is that Diamond Rock Hospitality won't have any debt coming due until January 2028. Plus, all their hotels will be completely free of any secured debt. This is a massive win. It means no looming deadlines, no need to scramble for refinancing for a few years, and a fully unencumbered portfolio. This gives them incredible financial freedom and flexibility to operate and grow. So to sum up this filing, it's all about this big refresh of their debt. They've got more money available, more time to pay it back, and they're using this new funding to clean up their existing debts. And of course, they've included all the juicy details and the actual agreement as exhibits to this report. Now let's talk about what this all means. Diamond Rock Hospitality is playing a smart long game here. By refinancing and extending their debt, they're essentially buying themselves time and reducing their immediate financial pressure. Having no debt maturities until 2028 is a huge strategic advantage. It frees up management to focus on running the hotels, improving their performance, and looking for growth opportunities, rather than constantly worrying about their next debt payment. The fact that their portfolio will be fully unencumbered is also a major positive. It gives them the flexibility to potentially sell hotels if needed, or use them as collateral for new, different types of financing if a great opportunity arises. It's like having a clear runway for the next few years. The covenants being unchanged is a sign of financial stability. It suggests that the company is on solid ground and can comfortably meet the lender's requirements. The interest rate structure based on their leverage is standard but rewards good financial management. One potential risk, as always with highly leveraged companies, is the reliance on EBITDA. If the hotel industry faces a downturn and their earnings drop significantly, those interest margins could climb, increasing their borrowing costs. However, by deleveraging with this new facility, they are proactively managing that risk. Looking ahead, this move positions Diamond Rock Hospitality to be a strong player in the recovering hospitality market. They've secured their financial foundations, allowing them to concentrate on what truly drives value, the performance of their hotel properties. It signals confidence from the lenders and a commitment from Diamond Rock to a stable financial future. So to wrap it up, this filing isn't just a dry financial announcement, it's a testament to Diamond Rock Hospitality's strategic financial management. They've secured a more favourable debt structure, extended their payment timelines, and cleared their immediate debt obligations, putting them in a much stronger position for the foreseeable future. What's your take on this debt restructuring? Does it make you more confident in Diamond Rock Hospitality? Let me know in the comments below what other companies or filings you'd like us to decode. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone interested in understanding corporate finance. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth reports. And seriously, come join our Discord community. It's where the real conversations happen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next decode.